Let's first put Dwyane Wade in a little perspective here. Joy Taylor's going to chime in and help me out on this. She doesn't know it. But am I right, Joy Taylor, that Dwyane is LeBron's best friend in the world and biggest supporter?
Absolutely.
Am I right that Dwyane became, I'd go so far as to say, the big brother that LeBron never had when he came to Miami?
For sure.
Am I right to say that Dwyane taught LeBron how to win basketball games at the highest level, because LeBron wasn't sure how to do that, and Dwyane became his, if I may go so far as to say, mentor or his guide down the championship path, right?
Absolutely. He turned the team over to him.
And Dwyane Wade takes great pride in LeBron's achievements because Dwyane knows that he played, I think, a major role. He wouldn't say that, but he played a major role in LeBron's growth as a pro basketball player. So let's keep that quote in perspective. Now, all that said, what Dwyane said about defining moment is sad but true. And I'll tell you why it's sad.
Why is it sad?
It took LeBron 13 NBA seasons to have his defining moment. It took a finals that looked like LeBron was going to lose to fall to 2-5 in NBA finals. And by the way, he wouldn't have even been 2-5 if not for the great Ray Allen, who saved his legacy with the greatest clutch shot I ever saw. It was a finals-saving clutch shot. Am I right about that, Joy Taylor? Saved the day.
No, you're
Took
not,
LeBron
Joy.
off the hook. LeBron would have gone down not as the GOAT, as in greatest of all time, but just the GOAT of that game.
It's the greatest clutch shot in NBA history.
Oh, come on. There's nothing like it. And it saved LeBron's legacy, because if Ray doesn't hit that shot, we could have been talking about right now LeBron falling to 1-6 in the finals, and that wouldn't be a very defining moment to me. But now let's get to the defining moment, which was last year, Game 4 at Cleveland in LeBron's house, when Draymond Green got into it with LeBron. Could we see this play before I put it in perspective? Because a lot of people forget exactly how it unfolded. Can we see exactly what's happening here? Wait a second, they're pushing shove. Oh, LeBron threw Draymond down, and Draymond did not like it. And they get into, look at that, threw him down, stepped over him, disrespect. And you know what? Draymond wouldn't take it. So out loud, for all to hear in the first couple of rows, including press row, Draymond Green dared to call LeBron James a B word. A B word? A superstar got called the B word?
Did LeBron answer?
Wow. I don't know what he did.
Well, it don't matter what you call him. It only matters what he answers to.
That was LeBron's defining moment, because that resulted in Draymond Green, as Joyce so correctly pointed out. I appreciate that very much, because it should be an asterisk on the stat sheet.
No, it should not.
Draymond Green then was suspended, even though they were up 3-1, because they were leading by 10 at that point with 2:42 left. So, and by the way, LeBron had been pretty dismal in that game. He basically disappeared the way he had so many times before. But Draymond Green suspended for Game 5 back in Oakland, and LeBron rose and shone. But then, of course, Bogut couldn't play. He was injured for Games 6 and 7. And all of a sudden, super highway to the basket, and LeBron took those games over until, of course, it was crunch time in Game 7 when he needed somebody to close for him, because he always does. And Kyrie hit the shot, which was actually the defining moment of the finals.
Block.
Yeah, the co-block, the tandem block?
No.
The J.R. Smith plus LeBron block, right?
Two people do not get credit for a block.
Oh.
Skip, you need to... Skip, why don't you stop?
Well, that was an assist. If there was ever an assist on a block, that's a new stat in the NBA. Assist on a block. J.R. Smith, he gets one.
You and Joy Taylor, you guys continuously talk about how Ray Allen, but LeBron hit the three to pull them within 3. They were down 10 points going into the fourth quarter. LeBron scored or assisted on 22 of the 30 points. You do realize this.
Yeah, and I also realize my Spurs just gave it back. They're up 5 with 18 seconds left. Are you kidding me? How do you do that? How do you blow that?
Kawhi, Ginobili, Tim Duncan.
Yeah. You know what? That night, you're right. I give you that. They choked their guts out. And then Pop pulled Duncan out for the final sequence, in which LeBron, after he'd committed 3 turnovers in the last 3 minutes, he jacks up the 3 that's going to either tie the game or lose the game, and it's long, it's a brick, it's a LeBrick shot, and it bounces hard off the rim and goes long. And there's no Tim Duncan in the game because he put somebody else in for defensive purposes. I forget what it was. But the point was that long rebound to Chris Bosh, and he goes and gets it and makes a sweet little quick pass into the corner, and we know the rest of the story. Ray Allen saved LeBron's day.
Plus, he had other games. If you look at the game against the Pistons, where he scores 28 of the final 29, 25 in a row to knock off the team that had been to 7 straight Eastern Conference Finals. Up until last year, that might have been his defining moment. He'd had some monster games. The Game 6 in the Boston Garden, where he had 45 and, he was 73% from the field. Only Wilt had done something like that.
Wait, but you said against Detroit was a defining moment, and that was in the conference final, right?
Yes.
And I'll get back to that game in just a second. But then what happened in the finals after that defining moment?
They lost to the Spurs.
4-0. They got swept.
Skip.
Well, that can't be a defining moment if then you get swept in the finals. Don't give me defining, or that's just sort of a pathetic defining
John
moment.
Elway had to drive and lost by 25 points in the Super Bowl. Defining moment doesn't always mean, normally it means you win that game. That's your defining moment of that game.
By the way, John Elway got routed in 3 Super Bowls until Terrell Davis fell out of heaven into Denver's lap.
And the helicopter in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They ended up winning that.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Would that have been Michael Jordan defining moment if he had just hit that shot to tie the game and go into overtime and they lose it? People, we talk about the 63-point game, but we don't really show it as much because you know why? He took the L. Now, had Michael Jordan scored 63 and they had beaten the big 3, it'd have been running on a loop from the time it happened until now. But because he lost, it was a great showing. But that can't be your defining moment because you lost the game. LeBron James' defining moment happened over a 3-game span where he averaged 36, 12, and 10. He beat the greatest regular season team in history that had a 2-time league MVP on their roster, and he took them down. The chase down block.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So because Draymond got suspended and LeBron came from 3-1 down to win because Kyrie hit the last shot, that was the equivalent of pancake makeup on all of LeBron's past legacy because it seemed to, for the sake of all the blind witnesses, such as the one across from me, it canceled out all of LeBron's playoff disasters.
No.
Against Boston in 2010 and, of course, Dallas in 2011. My Spurs blew him off the court by a record margin in 2014. I could go on and on and on, but it's all wiped away by that defining moment in which, by the way, LeBron rose to 3-4 in NBA Finals. So he's won 3 out of 7 NBA Finals, and that's your defining moment of your career?
Think about this.
Way to go.
You're talking about the Boston Celtic game, the last game he played in that uniform before he went to Miami. He had 27 points, 19 rebounds, and 10 assists. And you say the man was trash.
No, he was. In fact, everybody thought it was the runaway rage story of the day at ESPN. LeBron disappears in games 4, 5, and 6 against the Celtics.
Name a player.
4, 5, and 6.
Name a player in the history of the game that wouldn't take 27, 19, and 10.